What do you think of cricket today?
Like all things in life, cricket has changed from what it was in my days to what it is today. Basically, it is still a contest of skill of a cricketer, but the approach of both the cricketers and the public has changed. Today, cricket is given far greater publicity than ever before. The TV coverage, the advertisement media, and the interviews cricketers given off and on get a wide publicity for cricket. Cricket has become more popular than before.
What about money in cricket?
There is far greater money in cricket today than it ever was before. Today's cricketers have become very rich. I am very happy to know that the efforts, talent, and the contribution of cricketers has been at last recognized. One cannot live on mere praise. In the world of today, it is money that counts. It is good to note that today's cricketers are well placed in life because they get good money.
Well, did cricketers of your time not get enough money?
What they got was a mere pittance. Cricketers of my time did not grumble as they did not think it was possible to get more money.
So you think today's cricketers are more shrewd, worldly wise, and business minded?
Yes, it is as it should be. The crowds flock in to see the cricketers in action. It is but natural that their efforts should be suitably rewarded.
What about patronage in cricket?
Today, all leading business houses employ cricketers. I think it is a throwback to my days when the princely states patronized cricketers by giving employment to cricketers. I was one of the cricketers to benefit from the princely patronage.
You said a little earlier that the approach of the cricketers has changed today. In what way has it changed?
The most glaring change is the attitude of today's cricketers to the umpiring decisions. Hardly an umpiring decision goes unquestioned. Open arguments on the field, in the press, and on TV are regular occurrence these days. Visiting captains make it a point to vent their views right in the midst of a test match. Senior players dispute umpiring decision and set a bad example to the juniors. All this leaves a very bad taste in the mouth.
Yes, everybody will agree with you. But what was the state of affairs in your days?
We were occasionally the victims of bad umpiring decisions, but as a rule, we accepted them without any open protest. We hardly ever reported to the press about such decisions, since writing by acting cricketers was very uncommon. These things hardly received any publicity in the press through the cricketers.
Yes, these were some of the changes. What other main changes do you find today?
I find that ascent is on instant cricket. That means one day limited overs cricket. It has become necessary in modern age where everything is speeded up. People do not have time or the patience to watch a test match that goes for 5 days and yet does not end in a result. They want action in all the time. I would say it is fair enough. I like to watch one day cricket.
That's true enough. But one day cricket must have some disadvantages as well. Could you elaborate on these?
Yes, since a lucky single gives 4 runs, it has a ball reaches the boundary. Such a stroke are indulged in one day cricket. Even so much one day cricket is played, it becomes a habit. It is difficult to change, and a batsman suffers in a test or 3 day cricket. One day cricket also means that cricket as an art of stylish batting or as a science of technically correct batsmanship is getting lost.
Well, that's very interesting. What are the main advantages of one day cricket apart from the quick scoring?
There is always result, and the spectators want result in any match. From the cricketing point of view, the two main plus points of one day cricket are that the running between the wickets has vastly improved. The other is that the standard of fielding has reached very high. There is no place on in the side for a poor fielder, for the simple reason that it is not possible to hide him.
So, with these advantages of one day cricket, would you advocate abolition of Test cricket altogether?
Certainly not. Test cricket is still the ultimate standard by which a cricketer's ability is measured, both in batting and bowling. The real skill is revealed only in Test cricket. Also, a cricketer's temperament is truly assessed only in Test cricket. If Test cricket is altogether abolished, in my opinion, that remain cannot recall real cricket in the true sense.
Oh, we have gone through the pros and cons of both the Test cricket and one day cricket. This being so, what is your remedy?
I would advocate continuation of both Test and one day cricket. But a cricket program should not have these two types of games follow each other alternatively. My suggestion is that the cricket season should be divided into two parts. In the first half, only test and first class matches should be played, while in the other half, exclusively one day cricket should take place. This way, the players will not be in a two mind and can concentrate on each type of during the relevant period.
Well, these days people talk a lot about a win and loss. In your opinion, how much importance should be attached to either a victory or a defeat?
In my opinion, cricket should be treated as a game. It is to be played seriously, but undue importance should not be given either to a win or a defeat. To lose is not to suffer a national disgrace, as it is supposed today. Likewise, a win need not put us on top of the world, as long as a side does its best. Winning or losing should be treated as impostors, as Kipling said.
Well, it's a noble sentiment. So, we now go a little back to the good old days. You played both in the Pentangulars and in the Ranji Trophy in your days. How do you compare the impact of each of them on Indian cricket?
The pentangular and its predecessors, the quadrangular, was the tournament which produced leading Indian cricketers. Despite its communal nature, it never bred ill feelings among the religious communities. It was always well patronized. The Ranji Trophy became popular since 1940 when Maharashtra set up hug totals repeatedly. It gave number of fine cricketers due to repeated foreign visits and the importance attached to the test, and in recent years to the one-day matches. Ranji Trophy has lost such of its initial impact.
Well, now coming to a personal question. Do you contribute to the view that cares of captaincy affected your batting as has been claimed by some?
Although some critics claim that the cares of captaincy affected my batting, I do not agree with it. All the evidence is against it. On the other hand, I always batted well whenever I was the captain. In my first two innings as a test captain, I made a century both times. When I was appointed India's captain for the first time in an unofficial test against the Commonwealth side in 1949-50, I totaled over 200 in two innings without losing my wicket, and in the process scored a century. Twice in zonal tournament I scored 100 when I was captaining a side.
Well, that is quite formidable evidence as you have put it. Since we are talking about your batting, we will go to some facts about batting technique. Here is the first one. What are the essential qualities required to become a really good batsman?
In my opinion, firstly, a correct batting technique is necessary. This means he should know which ball are to be played and which are left alone. Sound judgment is needed to decide which balls are not to be touched at all. Even while playing a ball, correct assessment is essential to decide which balls can be hit to get runs and which are just blocked to prevent them from either yielding a catch or going to the wicket.
Does this mean that only correct technique is enough?
Certainly not. There are two other basic qualities at prime importance. One is intense concentration. Nothing should disturb a batsman's concentration. Should by spectators, remarks by fielders, and the state of the match should not affect batsman's main aim of staying at the wicket and getting runs.
So, technique and concentration are important. What is the third essential?
It is called temperament. It means not letting the bad position of the side affect you. The side may be in trouble. Facing the attack with courage in such a situation is a test of temperament.
Is anything else a yardstick to a batsman's ability?
Yes, the ability to face both pace and spin with the same ease and mastery is the true hallmark of a really good batsman.
What about the ability to bat on different wickets like turf, matting, wet and fast wickets?
To play different type of wickets, great skill is needed. On a tough wicket, the ball comes at an even height. On matting, it comes up all the time, and you have to be careful about keeping on down. On a wet wicket surface, the ball may skid through, while on a sticky one ball may jump and the other may keep low. On the slow green turners in England, you cannot hurry your strokes. On normal wicket, it is the patience that helps. Of course, patience is necessary all the time when batting on other wickets too. But on a normal wicket, it helps you to get set and to go together a big score. I may say patience went a long way in enabling me to stay at the wicket for prolonged periods.
So, in short, what was your batting philosophy?
I would say try to stay at the wicket as long as possible. Be a patient and do not let the situation of the game affect you. The runs would come in due course. I tried to follow these guidelines myself all the time.
Now, a question which will need a little longer answer from you. To what do you attribute your success in cricket?
I always played seriously even at the net. For me, cricket was almost like a religion. I concentrated on my game. I aimed at improving my game all the time. I was lucky to get coaching from a great master like Mr. Grimmett. My improvement was due to his coaching. I believed in regular habits in eating, exercise, and training. I kept away from smoking and drinking. I also kept away from politics in cricket and refused to get mixed up with any controversy. I was able to concentrate on cricket because my employer, the Maharaja of Baroda, was invariably more than just an employer. Maharaja Pratap Singh Gaikwad of Baroda encouraged me so much that it was he who persuaded me to go to and play in the Lancashire League. As Joe Birtwistle, an umpire in India, had written an article in an English paper that I should do so to improve my game. Fateh Singh Rao Gaikwad treated me as his guru. As a schoolboy and later as employer, saw that was free from family worries when I was away on tours, and when a younger member of my family like my son Ranjit fell ill, he and his family personally saw to it that all the medical help was available. They also made inquiries in person about the welfare of my family.
So, a personal touch always helped. Well, you referred to some politics in cricket and the controversies. That reminds one of the Cree Control Board in India. So, what do you think about our Cree Control Board?
I was never involved with cricket politics. Our board did a lot of good for retired test cricketers by giving us rupees 2000 per test played prior to 1976. It was a good gesture.
Well, now we come to some of your contemporaries. Who do you regard among your contemporaries as great?
Bradman and Hammond Hutton were the greatest among the foreign players. Worrell gave me a lot of pleasure, both by his cricket and his personality. Among the Indians, C.K. Naidu and Professor Devdar were the seniors. They were models of physical fitness and cricketing skill. Merchant was the soundest batsman I saw. His technique and style was faultless. Vinu Mankad was a great and tireless all-rounder of a world class. I thought Miller and Lindwall as the fastest bowlers I faced. Among my colleagues, I regard Gupte highly as a slow leg spinner. Also, I'll rate quite high.
So, in a nutshell, you have described some of the all time greats of your time. So, who were the fastest bowlers of your time?
The greatest were Lindwall and Miller. Both were magnificent bowlers, great pace. But Miller was of exciting nature. and if a batsman hit him for a four, he would fume, and the next ball would be a bouncer. Lindwall was of a quiet type. He never got excited. He certainly bowled bouncers, but a batsman had a right to expect an occasional one from a fast bowler. Both Lindwall and Miller never bowled with the idea of injuring a batsman, but Miller did not bother much if he hit a batsman. Off the field, he was a very friendly man. In my days, we did not have protective helmet as protection. Greater advantage was necessary to face a speed bowler of any day with the scanty protection as compared to the one used today. I met fast bowlers. They were Hall and Gilchrist, both from the West Indies. I faced them in 1958-59 when I was over 40, and my wrestlers were not very quick, but from their bowling in Baroda match on that tour, I felt they bowled with the intention of causing injury to the batsman. In fact, 6 Baroda batsmen were hurt in the match. This was intimidatory and against the spirit of the game.
So, you have talked about your great contemporaries, the like of whom are not quite easily repeated again. So, apart from the cricketers, do you recall anything else in your career which is not quite common?
Yes, in my days, we used to be belated with some well-known figures during the test matches. No five-star arrangements for us in those times. I was lucky to be a guest Dr. Cherian, who later became the governor of Bombay. He was an ENT surgeon of repute. His wife, Mrs. Tara Cherian, a social worker, became the only woman mayor of Madras. Both were very kind to me. They were my fans too. Whenever I went to Madras, I was their house guest. Such things are uncommon today.
Yes, I believe in another test at Madras, you stayed as the guest of a governor.
Yes, Maharaja of Bhavnagar.
Yes. Tell me something about your family life.
I have lived in Baroda for the last 50 years. Now Baroda is part of Gujarat state. At home we speak Marathi, which is my mother tongue. I speak very little Gujarati. Wife Pramila has always encouraged me while I was playing cricket. She has shared all the moments of my glory and disappointments too. I have 2 married daughters. One of them, Usha Vurunka, is settled in England. The other, Shashikala Ranbise, lives in Baroda. My only son, Ranjit, is an engineer by profession and works for Indian Petrochemicals in Baroda. He has played in Ranji Trophy like my younger brother Vivek and his son Vikram. Other nephew of mine, Sanjay, also plays in the Ranji Trophy for Baroda.
So, cricket seems to run in your family. You have just stated that you have lived in Baroda for the last 50 years. So, you must have come in contact with several good Baroda cricketers. Can you tell me about some of Baroda's leading cricketers which you remember?
Fateh Singh Rao Gaikwad was my pupil and I gave him some coaching. He showed a great promise, and in the second Ranji Trophy match he scored 99 against Hyderabad State. He went up to Cambridge, but state duties forced him to return. He could not devote much time to cricket. Dattaji Rao Gaikwad was another who I gave a few early tips in cricket. He modeled his cover drive on my own. Later he rose to be India's captain. If he had stuck to the opening position, he would have played many more tests. Mama Saheb Ghorpade was a good all-rounder, a keen student of the game. Also got a few tips from me. Chandu Borde was spotted by my sister, and later he proved a very good batsman and alert fielder. J.H. Win, Kishan Chand and Jayendra Ghorpade were the Baroda players who did well. My son Ranjit played for his university and Baroda. He suffered setback. People started comparing him with the sons of Mankad, Merchant and Mushtaq Ali. Bradman suffered a similar fate. Later he had concentrated on his career as an engineer and had to give up cricket. Hemu Adhikari was a Baroda colleague and a personal friend, an attractive batsman and alert fielder.
Well, so far we have been living in the past, and nostalgia is always very good. But we should come to present, and in the present era, we have produced some outstanding cricketers, notably Sunil Gavaskar, Gundappa Vishwanath, and Kapil Dev, many others. Do you have to say something about these three?
Yes, certainly Gavaskar has proved more than anyone else in India by scoring 34 centuries in international cricket.
Yes.
And to score a century, probably the highest centuries in tests. He is an outstanding batsman, no doubt. He has proved as a captain also well. About Vishwanath, he was playing very well also. He was a stylish batsman.
Yes.
And played number of good strokes. And Kapil Dev, as you know, proved as a captain very well. And if you remember, when the World Cup played in England, he, as a captain, proved. Rather, he helped India to win that match.
Yes.
And then, of course, we saw Kapil Dev in the final against West Indies, where India only scored 193, and India could bowl out West Indians and win the
Yes.
World Cup.
Yes. What about his bowling?
Yes, he proved very well. I think he is the best bowler we have produced so far, and taken more than 300 wickets.
But did he develop as a bowler, or was he natural bowler?
He is a natural bowler, I feel.
Hmm.
I have seen many times. And he bowls really, especially this cricket. He bowls all the time in the wickets. That gives him, rather he got more wickets like that, and he has done well for India.
So as a bowler also you rate him very high, and as you have said that as a batsman he has proved in a crisis, especially in one day matches, and some of his test performances are also quite impressive. So India has been lucky to have three players. Would you regard them as of standard which can compare with any international players?
Certainly.
What did cricket give you?
Cricket gave me a chance to play the game in my boyhood. Later it enabled me to come up to the front, first in the national cricket and later in international cricket. It gave me fame, money, and opportunity to travel and brought me honors. I was made a test captain and the Indian government honored me with a Padma Shri. The MCC also honored me with their membership. The Indian board gave me a benefit, and recently the Cricketers Benefit Fund scheme at Sharjah by Mr. Bhakhtyar arranged a benefit for me. I have led a fairly comfortable and contented life because of cricket. I am grateful to cricket for all this.
Now, the last ball of the day. Well, if you were born again, would you like to be a cricketer again?
Yes, certainly. I will be the first to go for cricket.